Hey, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? How are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas, with this inspirational morning talk. For first-time listeners, I just on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:45 a.m. That's Central Time. That's our time here in Houston. And I just give you something try to give you something inspirational to start off the day. Good morning, Jillian. Good morning. Something inspirational to start off the day with. So that's the goal. Hey, sorry about that, man. The internet tried to give me some little issues there, so it paused a little bit. But yes, it's got to step outside the vehicle. But wow, that's a beautiful background there with the skies. That's the type of day we're having here in Houston. It's a pretty day. It's a great day. But what I want to talk about today, man, I heard this teaching for those of you. I don't know if you guys listened to Kevin Ewing, the guy I listened to over the weekend. He had a teaching. I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday or so. But he had a nice teaching, and he had talked about this Joshua, and Joshua was appointed leader and stuff. I talked about it before. But I want to, it's a good time to remind some people and some stuff about that story and point out a little bit more nuggets on it. I'm going to focus on how we can use this principle to our everyday lives, right? Our everyday lives. There's a principle that we can use in our everyday lives, right? This is when Joshua was appointed leader after the death of Moses. But some of you might be in a leadership position right now, might just brand new, get a leadership position, and or in some situation, and people comparing you to the predecessor, the person that went before you, that love that person so much, and they're just trying to compare everything you do to that person, and not giving you the full respect. They're disrespecting you totally, but still, they got this attachment and for this person, and not giving you the full respect and everything that you need, right? So this story is a great little story here, that show you how things could turn out, what God can do, right? And when you got some other little nuggets about following instructions in this story here, which is key, right? So let's look at it, and then we can discuss some more. This is Joshua. We can read from Joshua 1, or from 1 through 9. Joshua 1, 1 through 9. This is after the death of Moses, the Lord's servant. The Lord spoke to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' assistant. He said, Moses, my servant, is dead. Therefore, the time has come for you to lead these people, the Israelites, across the Jordan River into the land I am giving them. I promise you what I've promised Moses. Wherever you set foot, you will be on land I've given you, from the Negev wilderness into the south of Lebanon mountains, in the north, from the Euphrates River in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west, including all the land of the Hittites. No one will be able to stand against you as long as you live, for I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will not fail you or abandon you. Right? So he's saying, man, Moses, you were the leader now. Not Moses, sorry. Joshua. Moses gone. I appoint you as the leader now for these people. And same promises I make to Moses, basically same promises I'm making to you. All these lines you go on, you're going to get it from all. You go over all the boundaries that you can give to him. He said, I will be with you. I will not fail you nor abandon you. Right? But then you go on, and here was the instructions you give him. He said, be strong and courageous, for you are the one who will lead these people to possess all the land I swore to your ancestors I will give to them. Saying, be strong and courageous. This is a big task. Remember, Moses, all the work that Moses did, bring these people out of Egypt and all that. Joshua got concerned, man. Could I fill these shoes? Moses left some big shoes to be filled, as we would say, right? So he had some concerns. So God said, you got to be strong and courageous. I'm with you. Be strong and courageous, bro. I know this task looked like a big task, but I'm right there with you, right? I'm right there with you. So let's see what he said. Be strong and very courageous. Repeat that again. Let me go to 6 again. Be strong and courageous, for you are the one who will lead these people to possess all the land I swore to their ancestors I would give to them. Go again in 7. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey. This is the part. Be careful to obey all the instructions Moses gave you. Do not deviate from them, turning either to the right or to the left. Then you will be successful in everything you do. He said you got to follow those instructions, right? Then you'll be successful in everything you do. Study this book of instructions continually. Meditate on it day and night so you are be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. This is my command. Be strong, courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So he tell him, you got to study first. Don't turn away from the law. Let's look at it. Do not deviate. He said, be strong, very courageous. Be careful to obey all the instructions Moses gave you. So Moses gave him these instructions. He's saying, you got to follow these instructions. Meditate on this book day and night, and then you'll get your success. And so sometimes somebody might prophesy to you and tell you something, right? But you might just excited about the prophecy and you just hold on the outcome, but you didn't listen to the instructions that person telling you might got to do. You might just get so excited. Michael McKinnon, good morning, how are you doing? You might just get so excited about the outcome that God, oh, you're going to be the leader, you're going to have this. But you won't listen to the instructions they give to you, right? That you got to do together. And you might say the person is a false prophet, or the prophet might prophesy to you and not tell you what you need to do to get to that prophecy, to achieve that prophecy, right? So we got to be careful with that, because we got to do something, right? You might just got a prophecy and just sit back and wait for it to happen. No, you got to do something, right? So God telling Joshua here, bro, you got to follow these instructions. You got to study this book of the instructions continually, meditate on it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all that you do. This is my command, to be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So you tell him, I'm going to be with you, but as a prerequisite, you got to study this book and you got to follow the instructions. And I'm going to be with you. Once you do your part, I'm going to do my part, right? And it's just like I can remember when my son had came home, he born premature, 27 weeks, spent 5 months in the hospital. When he come home, the doctors give us a set of instructions. Oh, we got to do this. We have to mix this formula in a certain way because he had to grow, but can't grow too fast. So we had to mix the formula in a certain way and add this thickening agent into it because he had the silent reflux. And how to introduce the vegetables to them. Don't give them the sweet ones first. So they're giving all these instructions as new parents and for his condition too. But we have to follow them to get the success, right? Just like Joshua here. God said, you're the leader, bro. I appoint you the leader. But you got to follow these instructions that I'm giving you. And then and only then you're going to succeed. You're going to succeed. I ain't giving you this task without, I can take care of you. Don't worry. I got some plans down the line. You can look at some things what God will do. But he said, but you got to follow these instructions, bro. You got to follow these instructions, right? So if you're in a position right now, I'm encouraging you, follow the instructions. Follow the instructions. Then you're going to see some things what God's going to do. But you got to follow the instructions. You got a new position you're in. Make sure you're reading up everything you need to know. Make sure you're looking at all the laws. You got to know now you're in charge of this department. You got to know everything about that. You got to follow the instructions. You got to everything you need to know about it. This is what God telling you. So you got to follow this stuff, right? So, and then, so let's look at some things we do here. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go through it, all of it. You could go and read it. But after you give them all the instructions and you tell Joshua all this. So they have to cross the Jordan. You know the Jordan was at the highest stage then, but to give them some instructions what to do, when to set foot in it, and all the priests with the ark and all the good stuff. Get them all the instructions. So the day when they were supposed to cross over, here did God tell Joshua here now. The day when they're supposed to give them all the instructions what to do, here did God tell him. He said, and the Lord said unto Joshua, this day I will begin to magnify thee in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that as I was with Moses, so I'll be with you. So God said, on this day, I'm about to cross the Jordan. I will begin, hear it, I'll begin to magnify thee in the sight of people. I will begin to magnify thee. So what he's saying, Joshua, I know this task is big, just like you in your position. I know the person before you and these people ain't give you the respect that you deserve, but I'm going to do something. If once you start following this law and I see you doing, I can begin the process of magnifying you to these people in the eyes of these people, right? magnify you. He ain't changing you because he know you're ready for this position. He know you are ready for it. You're qualified. That's why he select you for it. He know you're qualified. But those people got some doubts because the last leader was so great and they have this attachment to him. They're not giving you the full respect. So God said, okay, I got to do something here. I got to do some work. But once you follow the instructions, I can do my work. So what I'm going to do, Joshua, on this day, before y'all cross over, I can begin the process of magnifying you in front of people. What's magnifying mean? Nothing changed with Joshua. Joshua's still Joshua. Same Moses' assistant, same son of Nun, same guy who growing up, just like you and your friend might be growing up, and then all of a sudden, like some people may not want to listen to that Gregory. I know Gregory, man. We grew up together. We know all the wickedness what he doing. Well, he can tell me now, you know what I mean? But God could magnify me in front of those same people, and all of a sudden to stop seeing me as the person who they grew up with and all the wickedness we was doing, and to start looking at me with a different eye. That's what Joshua, that's the process we do with Joshua. He ain't changing Joshua. Joshua's the same Joshua, but he magnifying him. If you take something like you're looking at these through microscopes in your science class, right? And you got these magnifying glass and you're looking at these small things, and it look bigger when you go through the magnifying glass. Nothing can change. This stuff is the same size. But just the lens you're looking through now, and you see it bigger, and you can see all the details in it now, right? So God, this is what God doing to Joshua here, right? Now, this way He can do to you in the position, right? He didn't change you, you qualify for it. But He can make you appear different to the people. You can make them look at you with a different lens, right? So God tell him, I'm going to begin this day and doing this process, Joshua, but continue to do what you're doing. I can begin the process. But if you slip up and you're not doing your part and not meditating on the book, I could begin the process, but I ain't got to end it. So you got to continue doing what you're doing. So Joshua obviously continued doing what he's doing. They follow all the instructions. When they got over the Jordan now to the promised land, all the land that he promised him, here we say in Joshua, that was Joshua 3:7 when he said you're going to begin the process of magnifying him in the sight of Israel, right? And then those people are going to know that I'm with you, just as I was with Moses. So Joshua 4:14 now, after the cross over the Jordan River, this is what God said to him. On that day, the Lord magnified Joshua. Remember, he started the process. Tell I can start this process. But that day, he completely completed the process. Now, he magnified. Remember in 3, he said, I'm going to begin to magnify you. But now he said, different lens now. They ain't seeing the little Joshua that they grew up with and all of that, and he can't tell me nothing. Who's he, you know? So God said, I magnify you now. On that day, the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of Israel, and they feared him as they feared Moses all the days of their life. They don't fear him, mean they get scared of him, but they start seeing him the same way how they start seeing Moses. So them people in your who you take over, they can start seeing you the same way they see the old boss, the same way they see the old pastor that they so love and they so revere. Now he magnify you in their eyes, so they got the same respect now for you, just as he had for those the person that come before you, right? But you got to follow you got to do what you needed to do. Okay, give Joshua these instructions before. You got to meditate on this book day and night. You got to do this. You got to do that. Once you do that, I can do my part. I'm going to make these people look at you differently. And they're going to respect you the same way how they respect the man gone by, right? Or even with more respect. They might got so much more respect for you because I can cause you to do more things than that person didn't do. And all of a sudden, now they completely not forget about that person, but now knowing, well, this man is out leading us. And, you know, we got confidence he can do what we need him to do to lead us in the correct way. So we can take this principle in our everyday lives, guys. But I'll come back that we got to follow instructions. We got to do. That's like I tell my son to. He's playing in sports, and sometimes we go to those sports doctor, or we go to the doctor if he's sick or whatever. Most time you go to the sports doctor for some little injury or some little thing, and they might tell him, okay, you got to do these stretches, do this warm up, and do this. I said, you got to do it. If you want the outcome, what they're telling you to do to get better, you got to follow the prescription. You got to follow the prescription. Don't expect to get that outcome if you don't follow the prescription, right? If they say you got to do these stretches 3 times a day and you got to do this particular warm-up before you play, you got to do it. So don't come saying this stuff's still hurting you if you're not doing it. And if you're not doing it, we're wasting time going to them, spending time and money going to them, and we're not going to do what they say. We got to do what they say. Why we go to them then? To get an expert opinion, and we're not going to do it, right? So that's the same thing here. We got to follow instructions. We got to follow instructions. Great things in our sight, but we got to follow instructions. So a lot of time I was listening to people doing this stuff, and there's only give you the, oh, well, good God gonna, give you double for your trouble. He can give you all the, yes, all that is true, and all these promises is true, but we got to do some things to get them. We just can't sit back and they can just fall in our lap. We got to be obedient. We got to do some things to get them, right? So I'm not going to go on too long, but I'm saying God could magnify you in the eyes of people, right? He can magnify you in the eyes of people. Sometimes you need to do that because of the circumstances of the situation. But he can do that. And he's not going to change nothing physically on you. This is a spiritual deal. This is a spiritual deal now happening here. There's a spiritual surgery to these people's eyes. And he put in this magnifying glass in it, so to speak, so they can see you. And if you can appear bigger than you are, and they got a respect for you and everything, right, guys? So I'm gonna leave that there. And this is just like a, other example is like a recipe. If you want the beautiful cake or whatever, and they give you a recipe how to do it, you gotta follow the recipe. If you don't follow the recipe, you don't get an outcome, right? If you change up the recipe from them people, once you're gonna change the recipe they give you, don't expect to get the same outcome they get. You can get might be a great outcome, but not the same thing what the recipe promised, right? So just like this, Joshua had to follow this recipe. And if you go on in this story, when he did not follow it, all these promises, a little small nation called AI to whoop him. When he did not follow, he drift off and started doing his own thing. A little small nations, when he beat big nations because he following the recipe and he doing what God tell him to do. And when he drift off and started, drop his guard and said, there's no problem. This is a small nation. We can just go in and the little nation whoop him, and then you have to come back and ask God, why? God said, well, I didn't follow the instructions. You know what I mean? You didn't follow the instructions. I tell you, I can be with you if you follow these instructions. But y'all didn't follow them, so don't matter how small the nation is, they're going to whoop you because I'm not with you. And once I'm not with you, you're not protected, you're not covered, you're going to get whooping. But if you follow it, I'm going to be with you. And don't matter how big the nation is, you're going to win the victory, right? So guys, let's leave that there for today, man. But have a great Monday. We'll talk again on Wednesday. Okay, bye.